think the team as a whole should have a point to prove because the last time you faced a really good football team on the road, you left embarrassed. We've talked quite a bit about what the Texans don't have, but they did get a guy back. Deno Autry back and available to play. Mario Edwards out, Deno Autry in. And of course, because he had been out for so long and can just get back to practice now, DeMeco Ryans was asked about his status for Green Bay. Will Deno Autry play? Here's DeMeco Ryans' answer to that.
Autry, he's ready to go. He's been doing a lot of work. While people weren't watching him, while he wasn't here, he put a lot of work in. And that's the biggest thing. And that's a credit to all our guys. And I really, with our sports performance group and the way they work with our guys when they're not here, it just shows how Dylan came back. Dylan was ready to go. Damian steps back in. Joe steps back in. That's a credit to not just the football side, but our sports performance side, our training room, and how they have our guys prepared. When they do get back, they're back and they're ready to be effective for.
He's going to be needed. The back and forth during the offseason is whether he would be primarily a defensive tackle or would he be a sub rusher? Would he spend all of his time at defensive end? Well, we'll find out on Sunday, and there's a spot for him. Now they've activated Kurt Heinisch. Deno Autry is back. I wonder where his snaps will come from. It doesn't appear that they have a lack of talent at end. Maybe he is a third down pass rusher on the inside. But I do think there's a place for him to get some snaps inside because I wasn't all that impressed by their tackle rotation at the start of the year. And they've been fine. Tim Settle has been okay. Mario Edwards has made some plays. But with him being missing for the next several games, there's a slot there, at least for Deno Autry to find his way onto the field on a lot of passing situations. Will he be there on first and second down? He did that in Tampa. He did that in Tennessee. Will the Texans utilize him that way? We'll see about that on Sunday. But pressure has been the problem for Jordan Love, so Deno Autry being back will help the Texans in that regard. And it's a game where if they don't pressure him, I think he's going to have a big day against that secondary. I won't say it's pressure him or get blown out, but I do think if we think the Texans are going to have a shot to win, that defensive line has to be the best unit on the field when those two units are going at it. The offense and the defense for the two teams are going at it. They have to be better. They simply have to be better than that Packers offensive line to counteract what I believe is a clear advantage for the Packers wide receivers against that Texans secondary. It's pretty simple. If a quarterback has time to throw, he's going to have a better shot to win. But Jordan Love's numbers are drastic in that regard. And the Texans, how they're presently set up as far as depth because of injuries, you allow Jordan Love to sit back there and have time. It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, because with the Packers receiver options, even at full strength, we would be going into this week I'm not sure how the Texans secondary covers all these guys because it is 4 legitimate threats on the with the Packers receiving core with Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, and Reed. So you have that issue, and now you're losing Kamari Laster. You're going to be down Jimmy Ward. So now it really becomes you need the front 7, but really the 4 main pass rushers. You need them to dominate the game and to gunk up, to gunk up the game. You need them to get this into being a game with Love under pressure, having to throw the ball away, getting hit. That's really the recipe for the Texans' success on defense.
And you look at the numbers as far as sacks given up by the Packers. They are at 1.3 a game, which ties them for third. best in all of football as far as, or tied for second best in all of football as far as sacks given up per game. So they're a team that doesn't give up sacks, and you have a defense who thrives on putting pressure on the quarterback and is going to need it. So it'll be an interesting back and forth. And will this team, who didn't need to put pressure, at least use blitzes to put pressure on Drake May, will they have to revert back to that with a better offensive line? Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson had their best days since the Chicago game. Will Anderson had his 3 sacks, won AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Danielle Hunter had one of his, and I guess now customary flying sacks that people are looking at and love now. He had one of those. Those were few and far between, the sacks and the pressures, it felt like, against non-Bears or Patriots offensive lines. They're going to face a better one, a better scheme, a better quarterback, a better group of weapons from the running back if he's healthy. I think Aaron Jones missed practice yesterday. We'll see if he practices today, but the wide receiver should be okay. Going to be a big challenge. And we're at a point where I'm not looking for, hey, they played them close. Now, I won't put them on fraud watch if it's a close ball game. We talked about that early. But I think if we're trying to, quote unquote, establish them, if we're trying to watch the Texans establish themselves as one of the contenders, go in there and win that game. I don't think weather's going to be a problem, so that's not something that can be a crutch. Should be fine. Beat the Packers. The Packers are good. That whole division is good, at least record-wise. The Bears have beaten up on some bad defenses, but the division, everybody has 4+ wins. Go beat the team a lot of people thought was going to finish first in that division. You got an opportunity. A lot of eyes. The CJ Jordan Love thing, I'm not that interested in. I think they're both good quarterbacks, but I think the team as a whole should have a point to prove, because the last time you faced a really good football team on the road, you left embarrassed. I don't think there's any other word to use than the Texans got embarrassed in Minnesota. Let's not have that happen again. Is that too much to ask? And then win. And obviously win too, but don't get embarrassed.
I don't think not get embarrassed is too much to ask.
I don't have high standards on a lot of things, Sean. Okay. This isn't a high standard.
Okay.
Don't get embarrassed.
Don't get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Just say they're 5-1.
Yes.
We can ask for a win.
I did say, hey, let's win it too, but but
bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Don't get embarrassed. Don't duplicate what happened in Minnesota. Go in there and play a good football game. And if you drop one to a good football team on the road, you're not favored to win. You're down some guys. Your best receiver, your best weapon isn't available. Your starting corner isn't available. There are reasons to believe the Packers should win that game, but I don't think there's any reason to think they should blow the Texans out. They shouldn't pull a Minnesota Vikings on the Texans. I don't want to see a lot of Lambeau leaps is what I'm saying.
Can I be honest now?
Go ahead.
The more we talk about it, I kind of think the Texans are in danger
Aww.
of a Minnesota Vikings
Aww.
game. I'm kind of in danger. The more we talk about it, I'm like, I don't know how they're going to cover all these guys. Their linebackers are hurt. Toa's in concussion protocol. Still no Christian Harris. Yeah, Christian Harris. I want to have positive vibes.
You're out here saying the quiet part out loud.
I want to have positive vibes, but I'm scared. I'm scared.
Well, are you going to be scared of the Packers in their all-white uniforms?
Yeah. The alternate uniform day also makes me.
The Texans will counter with their all blues. Their regular home blues. Not the H-Town blue uniform. It'll be the regular home blues, all blue, up in Green Bay against the all whites of the Packers.
Listen, it's gonna be a great uniform matchup. There's no question. The guys are gonna look good and they're gonna feel good. I just don't know if they're gonna play good.
I don't know. I've seen the Texans all blue uniforms in mock-ups. I don't think they're that great. They're better than what they had last.
I like the old all blue.
Yeah, I like
uniform. So I assume
with the red numbers.
Yes, I assume that this one's gonna look not similar because it's obviously a new design, but the overall aesthetic is gonna look similar.
Understood. The ones that they're
like the Deshaun Watson
their color rush blue uniforms that were an alternate from their regular blue uniforms. Understood. It's well.
I can just see those clean, crispy white uniforms. I don't know that.
Since we're doing this dumb uniform thing. You know the
Not
Packers are
dumb.
the okay, sure. You're right. I think it's dumb. You may think it's great.
This is great insight.
Understood. The Packers, because they are so traditional, besides the fact that they're going with an all-white uniform, they haven't changed their jersey materials since like the Brett Favre days.
What?
Like the design, like if you look at the Packers on Sunday,
The design,
no, not the design.
the material.
The template of the uniform is the same one they use back in the 90s.
I thought you were saying like the actual like
When I say template, I'm not talking about like, oh, it looks like a Packers uniform from 1998. I'm talking about like the Texans have upgraded their uniforms to the new Nike template, the one everyone in the NFL is using. The Packers did not. It's still the old one.
They're still using like Reebok jerseys?
If you look at it closely, it's the same type of look, except it has a Nike swoosh on it. They did not change them. That they were so adamant about, we don't want anything to look different, that you can put a Nike jersey on it. Hell, could even be Nike materials, but it better be the same type of thing we were wearing when Brett Favre was running around beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's how far into this thing they are.
They should have to wear like the actual jerseys, like a high school team where they just
like a
reuse them every
not
year.
a Texas high school team, a poor high school team. Yeah.
Yes, but where they reuse them.
Yeah, that is.
Jordan Love, make sure you turn in your jersey at the end of the year.
It's very weird. We will rock the white pants because we want to be a little modern with our stuff, but the fact that the jerseys are the same, it's who they are. The Packers don't want anything to change.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
And so those all white pseudo 1998 uniforms that they're going to be wearing on Sunday, I don't need a lot of them winding up in the stands for a Lambeau leap. Can we limit that to about at most 3 Lambeau leaps? Over under a Lambeau leap, Sean.
Oh, I'll go
by not by Packers, not Texans taunting the Packers. Yes.
Yes. Traditional
Lambeau
not
leaps.
Disrespectful.
Yes.
I'll go 2.
So, but
I think there's a chance there's a third touchdown, or actually maybe 3.
there could be more touchdowns, but maybe some guys decide not to jump into the crowd. Okay,
Exactly.
so 2. You set the over/under at 2.
I think we get at least 2.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of Packers games, so I'm not sure how many of those guys are still doing that.
Oh, do you think Gen Z's like actually? It's kind of cringe.
Yes, I don't want you pouring beer on me.
Yeah.
I don't want you spilling
My
beer.
girlfriend's here. I don't want to give her the ick if I can't make it up into
you make jokes, but don't think that couldn't be a thing. Where
Jaden Reed's
where
like,
Jaden Reed's girl was
I don't
like,
know if I'm tall enough.
like Jaden Reed's girl's like, ugh, why did you jump in that crowd? Who are you?
Who's she?
Who are you? No, who are you? Antonio Freeman? What are you doing? Cut that out. You ain't Robert Brooks. Knock it off.
All right, Ryan Grant, get out of there.
Yeah. Eddie Lacy. In fact, mimic Eddie Lacy and don't get in there because he's too big.
I was gonna say,
I think at one point Eddie Lacy could get into the stands, but
he was athletic.
He
was big.
But it changed pretty quickly. At some point, Eddie Lacy was no longer capable. Yeah, so I would say 2's a pretty good number for Lambeau leaps. You take into account that some guys don't want to do it. Maybe the Texans have a good defensive effort. It's not a bad spot.
Oh, you know what? Maybe there's a turnover, and I hate it when it's not.
If a defender scores.
No. If they just get an interception, but they do the thing where they all run into the end zone, even though they catch they are down. They get the interception, they are down, and then they get up and run into the end zone. Maybe they do a Lambeau leap there.
No, I think that's time to pose in front of the cameras. I think that's the team, the team, at least the team defense photo. They all run, all 11 guys run in front of the camera, take a picture.
That's the one where I'm just like,
enough.
Yeah,
some
because you're celebrating in the end zone where you didn't get in the end zone.
Yeah, can you treat that like brandishing a weapon? If you take that team defense photo in front of the cameras because you picked off a pass and you. The worst part is when they run like 45 yards.
Yeah.
So it's this, oh my God, okay, the cameras got to follow them. They follow them, and they all wind up in front of the cameras. Enough. It took you 45 yards to get there. You don't have to do that.
So lame.
All right.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yes. Speaking of jerseys, there may be a new curse we can talk about.
Oh.
We know about the Drake curse. Well, there's another pop star, and yes, Drake's a pop star. Rapper, whatever, but he's more of a pop star than anything else. There's another pop star that if they wear your jersey, you can expect your team to get beat. We'll talk about